So right here we have these educational posters from Hadley Designs. This company sent this to me so that I could do this unbagging video with you guys. So thank you to them for partnering with me on this. Let's go ahead and see what we got in here. So you get a bunch of them, first of all. I think there's like 10 or 12 or something like that in here, which is fantastic. So you have an addition, let me do these like this. You have an addition chart right here. So the way you read this is you have your numbers going across, numbers going down the side, and you do like 6 plus 6 is 12, and where they meet is the number. So it's a great way for kids to be able to visualize addition. It goes all the way from 0 to 12, both ways. And that's a fantastic little chart just so kids can kind of get an idea for how numbers go together like that. The next one we have here is the division chart, and it just goes through each number by dividing by its number right there so that you guys can get a better idea of how to get through to these numbers. Hopefully I'm making that make sense right there. But it's a great chart to show division whenever you're dividing any number from 1 to 12. These are also made on really nice paper. It's got a glossy finish on the front here. Just a simple backing like that, like a matte back. So if you took like some ticky-tacky and taped it up onto a wall, this would be great for classroom if you want to have these available for your students, or if you do like a homeschool type of thing. You have fractions right here. I love how it gives you the like a visual representation of each fraction right here, so you have an idea of how the size of what they're talking about. I usually use money whenever it comes to teaching my kids how to use fractions. I try to use that because they can understand 4 quarters equals $1, and so if you're just taking 1/4 of that, that's 1/4, which is 25 cents, which would be 25%. So that's kind of the way that I do that, but I like how they have the fraction, the decimal, and the percentage right there for each one as well, so that they can easily reference those. Fantastic fractions chart right there. Let's see, have you math keywords here. So these are words that you can look for, particularly whenever you're doing like word problems, and you can just kind of reference the keyword that might be in the word problem to what you're supposed to do with those particular numbers within that word problem. So if you see like both or increase, join together, the sum, that's all addition. But if you do divide or every, evenly, the average, those are all division type of words right there. So it's a great way for them to be able to associate the words that are being said, or the words in a word problem, to be able to know what function that they need to have. And this is going to be very helpful later on whenever they start working with like spreadsheets, because whenever you're working in spreadsheets, a lot of time the formulas for those use these words, like sum. If you want to do an addition of a bunch of cells on a sheet, then you use the sum function, and so they'll be able to put those things together, which I think would be very, very good in the long run. Here's a money chart right here. So if your kids are learning just the value of money, how much it takes to be able to get to certain amounts of money based on the smaller denominations, they show you a picture of what each one looks like right here, which is super nice. And then they give you, some equivalents on the side right here. And then, of course, how many make $1? Like how many of each of these make $1? You do the math right there, and then they give you, they tell you each one that they have, like 2 $half, 4 quarters for each denomination. So that's super cool if you're teaching your kids about money, if you want to have a lesson on money. You have a multiplication chart, just like the addition chart. You know it's multiplication. 1, it says it up top, but 2, they have a little X right there. And then you have, 5 times 5 is 25. So you just match up the row with the column just like that. I really like how colorful it is. It makes seeing the rows and columns a lot easier, so you can make those matches. So super easy for kids to see. Then right here we have our numbers, and it's just all the numbers in their number form, and then below it they're written out, which is super cool, so that if kids are still learning how to visualize the way that the numbers are written in their letter form as opposed to just number form. And then they give you all the symbols right there. It's be great for like kindergarten, maybe even first grade type of thing right there. And I like how it's all colored too as well, kind of the colors of the rainbow. So you can kind of match up, you know, your 10s, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, all the way through and through down to 100, and then whenever you get past 100, it goes into the 200, 300, 400, all the way up to 1,000 right there. Then right here you have place value. This is fantastic. Whenever you're teaching your kids about numbers and how the different values of each numbers go higher and higher depending on where they're placed at. And it's just simply spelled out right here. You have your ones, your tens, your hundreds, your thousands, tens, hundred thousands, and millions, which is super great. And then they also point out the commas right here as well. Man, you get a lot of these things in here. There's a lot going on here. We have our Roman numerals. Oh, this would actually probably help me out. But they give you all your Roman numerals right up top here. Basic combinations right here. And then some important facts. You can repeat a numeral up to 3 times to add them together. And then only repeat I, X, C, and M. V and L and D are not repeated. See, I didn't even know that. What is D? I don't even know what D is. 500. You guys know I didn't know that. And then they give you converting Roman numerals down here so you know how to like mathematically break them up, which is super cool. If you're learning shapes, you got 2D shapes right here up top, and then you have 3D shapes on the bottom. They just tell you exactly what they are. So if you have a kid learning their shapes, some geometry type stuff, you can use this as a visual reference. You have a subtraction chart right here, kind of like the division chart. You're just minusing the top number from these other numbers right here along the side so that you know what your subtraction is going to be. So that's a fantastic little chart. Time. Oh, this is a good one. So if you're teaching your kids the clock, how to read a clock, you know, what the longhand means, a shorthand, AM versus PM, and then say o'clock when the longhand points to 12, 3 o'clock. And then say 15 when the longhand points to the 3. So they kind of teach you how to read an analog clock, which I think is one thing that's really missing in this day and age. You know, we rely so much on digital and phone. People don't know how to read an analog clock anymore, which is, you know, hopefully we're bringing that back. But that's all of them right there. If you guys are looking for some excellent educational posters to post around your house or around your classroom, around your preschool, definitely go and check out these right here from Hadley Designs. And thank you to them for sending these to me so I could show them off to y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and Dad out.